brother of the late Virginia Giuffre, is calling for an investigation into Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, who was stripped of his royal titles by his brother, King Charles. Virginia Giuffre took her life earlier this year. In her memoirs, she gave more details about the allegations that she was abducted and slept with Andrew when she was 17. Andrew has denied the allegations. Sky News spoke with her brother, Sky Roberts, and his wife, who have welcomed the royal family's decision and are asking the King to pressure the United States President, Donald Trump, into releasing the Epstein files.
We've had kind of mixed emotions. I think a lot of celebratory moments, but also really sad moments because she's not here with us. She should be sitting on this camera with you right now, celebrating this, but also demanding more justice, right? So I think it's a mixed bag of emotions over the last 24 hours, but we are just hell-bent to not let her voice die.
We had been reaching a moment where we had felt like we were pushing and so hard, and especially in our country, we've just been gaslit and slapped in the face over and over again. And I was just like, man, Virginia, you know, something's got to give. And I can imagine that she's felt that so many times throughout her process and her fight for justice. And so I feel that, yes, this was a win. And you get so little in these circumstances, so we celebrate every single win.
When you say gaslit and slapped in the face, what do you mean by those comments?
Our country, our government, our president, our Department of Justice, our Speaker of the House has consistently gaslit survivors, called it a hoax. Mike Johnson said, oh, well, only 20 survivors showed up on the steps of Washington, D.C. to make sure that their voices were heard. Only 20? One is one too many.
The King is setting a roadmap. He's setting a precedent to the rest of the world to say, I do stand with survivors. I am going to hold even my brother to account. But it's still not enough in the sense that he's still walking around a free man. I mean, let's not be naive that he's not going to be living on the side of the road here. He's still in a very, let's say, cush spot where he should be investigated. Let's put it that way. And I think that our government, to Amanda's point, is safeguarding these documents. They have it locked away in this little Pandora's box of people that are implicated, and we need to fully investigate them because Prince Andrew is just one of many that need to be investigated thoroughly. And so I think the King should put pressure on our government. He should put pressure on President Trump. He should tell President Trump verbatim, President Trump, put your big boy pants on and let's get these Epstein files released.
The King's decision has made headlines in the US. James Matthews has the details from Washington, D.C.
It turned heads and raised the question, well, if that's happening there, what is not happening here that should be taking place? I think what it does is increase pressure on Donald Trump over the Epstein files, all the more because, remember, he embraced the status, the grandeur of the state visit recently to Windsor. He was all in with King Charles, showed due respect and was quite happy with that picture of partnership. Well, the partner has struck at the heart of an issue on which Trump is vulnerable. The Trump administration has resisted and continues to resist the release of the Epstein files. And of course, there is a growing clamour for that to happen. It will be given added traction by the actions of King Charles and his statement that he stands with the victims. That was a fascinating, moving interview that you conducted. It demonstrates that over time, survivors of Jeffrey Epstein have found their voice, a very powerful voice that has driven this story and in many ways has been steering where it goes next. What they want next, of course, is for Andrew to tell his story in full. Think of your daughters, we heard Amanda Roberts saying, Virginia's sister-in-law. It's far beyond time, she said, to come clean. They are not alone in this belief that Andrew has more to say and that he can contribute to a a full exposure of Epstein, the crimes and associates involved with him. In Congress, there's a House Oversight Committee. It's investigating the Epstein affair, and at least one of its members has actually invited Andrew to come and give evidence, pointing out that in his view, Andrew isn't handling himself in a way you would expect of an innocent person. That might be a long shot, that invitation, because Andrew is a non-US citizen, obviously, and as such cannot be subpoenaed, can't be compelled to give evidence. So if he does take the decision to face another grilling, it may not be here in the United States, but there's no doubt he's facing increased pressure to tell his story in full in a forum of some kind.